What's going on, Jerome's? So the Jordan Addison alleged DUI over the weekend, some of the details are starting to come in. Now, we've tried to be fair as best we can to Jordan, who is entitled to due process, but to a degree, we've gone a little bit hard in this situation, and I feel like a lot of people have, because there was a couple of things from the case that were indisputable. Like, number one, passed out, blocking an on-ramp to a very busy interchange in Los Angeles. Also arrested and charged with DUI. All right, so those two, crystal clear, did happen. All the other details, was it alcohol? Was it something else? We're still to be determined. But either way, second off season in a row where he's put himself in a bad situation. Probably can't blame the dog on this one. And plus, with everything else that's been going on with the Vikings, with Kyrie Jackson, is just the timing and optics are just, certainly maddening, right? And we did say at the time when the details were initially reported that it was noteworthy that they didn't report a BAC, blood alcohol content, if this was alcohol related, and I don't see anywhere else where it's been reported that way. And also, it did raise an eyebrow that he was released 2 hours after he was arrested. So arrested at 11:36 p.m. Friday night, released at 1:36 a.m. On Saturday morning. So that's a pretty quick turnaround. So that was noteworthy as well. Ben Goessling, Star Tribune, was on KFAN. Talk about the details. Per Persuasion put this together. Now, we're going to get into the details and minutia here. And all right, so according to Ben Goessling, alcohol may not have been involved with the arrest of Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison, but actually marijuana, which is legal in California. Now, Goessling worded this poorly, because marijuana is legal in California. It is illegal to drive with any THC in your system, which we'll get into. Blah, blah, blah. Goessling does note that if alcohol was involved, it could be blah, blah, blah. Quote, so this is Ben Goessling now. I think the point you made, though, about DUI is a good one, in the sense that the arrest report does not talk about BAC content. If it was an edible or something and not alcohol, that's legal in California. Again, ingesting, legal. Driving under the influence of any THC in your system, illegal. So that may change all of the nature of this too. If it's alcohol, I think the precedent for that is 3 games, and the optics of it is obviously are really bad at the moment. So for this, there's a couple factors. Like we said, number one, marijuana, legal, California. Yes, and a lot of people are sort of celebrating this, like, oh, it's legal. Alcohol is legal too. All right, but it really doesn't change things, because it is still illegal to drive with any THC in your system. And also, so this is a bit of a gray area, because there's no weed breathalyzer, right? So there's nothing like that for law enforcement at this moment in time, and you need blood or saliva tests, and those can be unreliable as well. So basically, you have to show visible and noticeable signs of impairment for police to arrest you for a weed DUI, which, being passed out, blocking an on-ramp at a very busy interchange certainly would qualify. So it's still passed out, still arrested, still charged with DUI. People miss that point. He was still arrested and charged, versus it really doesn't matter if it's alcohol or weed. And the only thing that really changes is the NFL. If it was alcohol related, it would be a mandatory 3-game suspension. I don't even know if they have any rules for weed DUI, which I don't know. The Vikings really have to stop setting historical precedents on things like Wisnader, Love Boat, the first weed DUI in NFL history. Come on, man. Come on. Now, like Goessling was theorizing, could it be a spot where he, again, theorizing and running off of what Goessling said here, could an edible have been ingested, the potency of said edible been underestimated, and then he passed out? It's very possible. It's very possible that could have been it. But the whole thing about people saying like, oh, rush to judgment, which to a degree, fine, but also it really doesn't change things. Like, was he impaired when he drove? Yes or no? The answer is yes. And whether it's booze or weed or Benadryl or Ambien, it really doesn't matter. He put himself in a bad situation, and him passed out behind the wheel still put other people's lives at risk. And that's the bottom line. And it is still the second off season in a row where he's had a vehicular incident, and it's still a spot where, I mean, he's got to mature. Like either way, like he's got to get out of things. And basically his new Instagram profile picture is an admission that he did screw up. The whole wins, lessons, back and forth in life. It's good that he's having some introspective moments, but at a certain point, you got to start learning from those lessons, man. So go from there. But your thoughts are thoughts. Star Tribune's Ben Goessling reporting / speculating that it could have been marijuana instead of alcohol involved in the Jordan Addison alleged DUI over the weekend. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts on Goessling's thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You guys know what to do. Skull, production value.